All right, peace and blessings, everybody. David Hinkson wrote a core links email. I'm going to read it to you guys, but he's also been telling me about this Lee Wanta guy and Marilyn Barnwell. Marilyn Barnwell wrote several books. I think one of them is called Flight of the Black Swan, and it's written as if it's fiction, but I think it's really a book about Lee Wanta. I guess he financially destroyed the USSR with some sort of financial maneuvers, and if you look up Lee Wanta, he's got a website called Eagle One to Wanta, and he was associated with Ronald Reagan. Anyway, this Wanta dude is in his 90s. Supposedly he's worth $31.2 trillion. The richest man in the world is worth like $85 billion, I think. So I don't know. So many people have different opinions about this Wanta dude. I don't really have an opinion, but I know that David Hinkson said he talked to him one time, and of course David Hinkson wants out of prison. And if the dude has $31.2 trillion, you think he could help David Hinkson get out of prison. But he's ignored all my messages regarding David Hinkson. Anyway, if you look up, if you read David Hinkson's latest email, I'll just read it to you guys and put it on the screen. It says, "My friend's name is Leo Wanta. Some people call him Lee Wanta, but I always called him Leo. He fled the country when the first Bush got into office, as Bush stole some of this money. He now claims his net worth is $32 trillion. Anyway, Ronald Reagan gave him $50 billion when he was working as a CIA front, and his mission was to destabilize the Russian ruble." Well, as soon as you call somebody a part of the CIA, I already don't like him. Now, even though David Hinkson says he's his friend, what kind of friend ignores somebody when they're in prison? Anyway, Ronald Reagan gave him $50 billion, and he was working as a CIA front, and his mission was to destabilize the Russian ruble. He did this job, and he was the reason the Russia had the economic collapse. He got the job done. Now, when he seeks asylum in Austria, I think it means Austria, he ends up being the Austrian ambassador to the U.S. He is interested in trains, and he loved Ayn Rand and her book Atlas Shrugged. I believe that he thinks he is the real John Galt. Last time I talked to him was when he was on the Stu Webb talk show, and I called in. Stu sent some people out to help Guy, and they all got in a fight, and now Stu is mad at me. But anyway, Leo should not be mad at me for any reason. This is interesting, as we have as much PL, I think it means platinum, in value as Leo has Federal Reserve notes cash. Maybe we could back them with real platinum. Leo is now 90 years old, and I think that he is in a hurry to make his dream happen, whatever dream that is. So at this time, we need to share our dream with him and work with him if you want. I really like Leo and would like to let him share in our dream of taking the copper water to remove all of the diseases in these other countries, build the first anti-gravity cars, and build the G motor for the whole world." He's calling it the G motor instead of the Galt because he's afraid somebody's going to copyright sue him. I think that Leo sees himself as the real John Galt. I would like to share all of my ideas for creating a new digital monetary supply and backing it with something of real value with him. I have asked Rudy to send Leo the letter that I wrote to Mr. Hannity, as I covered most of these things. I did do that already. So please call Rudy to get the email address for Mr. Wanta. Let's see if we can open up direct communications with him. I want to share my ideas with him and see if he will come on board and work with all of us. We are all going the same direction, in my opinion. Leo could also be very helpful in helping spread the word about political prisoners in the United States. And he has President Trump's ear, and he might actually have an interest in what we have to offer. Just my thoughts for the day. All right, well, this Leo Wanta guy, he's in his 90s. He's got $31.2 trillion, according to himself. And he's got Trump's ear. He talks to Trump. And, I don't know what to think about it. There was a book written about him by Marilyn Barnwell. And also, Marilyn Barnwell has been reported on many websites. Anyway, if you guys want to help David Hinkson, maybe you can tell Lee Wanta to remember his friend in prison. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.